Hello, we're getting there. How's the volume? How's it going? Looks good. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the music down. Just a minute. Okay, here we go. I think I have finally gotten the music correct, so that I can hear it, we can all hear it, we can hear me talking, and I need to switch the camera still. Hey Hendrik, how's it going? There we go. How's it going, everybody? Okay, so we are working on an expense tracker application. So if you've never been here before, be sure to like this video. This is a live stream where I am building an app live, and you can basically follow along and see the thought process on how I build an application. But it's not really a series where you actually like follow along like line by line with the code. And then sorry, I was looking at a message like right before. I'm like I am manually texting somebody. Hey, come join my live stream. I'm on YouTube right now. Because you gotta get people to join some way. Okay, so sorry about that. I need to plan these. I'm bad at planning these, and I haven't done this in like a hot minute. Okay, struggling with authentication. What are you doing for authentication? Also, double checking all of my stats for everything, make sure everything works. Okay. Hey Nathan, how's it going? Is that how you pronounce your name? Okay, I think we officially have everything all finally figured out because live streams are basically live coding. Nathan? Okay, and here is my Buy Me a Coffee link. If anybody would like to buy me a coffee, I'm gonna pin this to the chat so it should stay up there at the top. And so if you buy me a coffee while I'm on stream, it will show up that way. It will show up over there, above us, kind of, on stream. So that's super fun. So then you can like actually see it all happen live. But what we are doing today is we are going to be creating an actual like expense record, so the main point of what this application does. And we are going to be sending the data from the iOS app over to the Vapor backend. And so Hendrik, you had said you have a simple form login, but the docs is kind of all over the place and super confusing. I really like the Vapor docs. I think they are pretty well written. It depends on what it is you're looking at. I have not gotten into authentication yet because it's hard, and I didn't want to do that first. Security, authentication. I would say basically I can't really help live with something, especially authentication, because it's very specific to what you're doing. So Hendrik, what I would say is go into the Vapor Discord group and ask any kind of question there with like code samples, and you usually get pretty good responses, I would say, out of that. It is a super helpful community. And I've always had like great responses, or pretty good responses, and a lot of success when talking to the Vapor Discord. So let's start coding. Here we go. So let me switch over to my monitor. And of course, you don't see anything because I didn't do this right. What just happened? Oh, I think, hang on, where's the monitor? Okay, so what just happened? What I did over the weekend or so, I finally upgraded to Ventura, so that's super exciting. And given that, I also upgraded OBS. And what happened is OBS, why is it not capturing my screen? Wait a minute. What? What monitor is this? I have everything on the monitor. Why can everybody not see what's on this monitor? Okay, so it looks like we're going to be debugging stream issues as the first beginning part of the stream. Aw, hey Han, thank you so much for the 3 coffees. I appreciate it. Yes. We're gonna show our work once we finally figure out how to fix OBS. Why is this not? You need 3 regular coffees to fill my 1 coffee mug. So what he's talking about is I have almost all the coffee mugs I have are like really big. So this coffee is like the size of my microphone. And it's my Halloween mug. It's a ghost. But okay, what is going on? Why can you all... What can you see then? What is this monitor that's happening? Studio mode. Okay, so hopefully... Here we go. We are gonna do this live. You should still only be seeing me. That's what it looks like, yeah. We need to do... Video capture? Screen capture. I don't even know what screen this is capturing. What is happening? Properties? What screen is this? Oh, there we go. It magically fixed itself. I just had to click on it again. Okay. We got it, everyone. I just had to literally fix... That was super weird. Because everything looked like it worked on my side, and I guess it didn't. So now, when I go to monitor, there we go. We can finally see my monitor, so we are now good. And I think the music is slightly loud. I might turn that down just a touch. There we go. And actually, I might turn the music down a little bit more because I want to try this again, playing music that's like, that has words in it. I usually don't. Hey, thanks Kuba for all the congrats. Let's see what happens. What happens if I play this music? Because I hope it's not DMCA. I think it might be though, but we'll live. Hey Anthony, how's it going? Okay, this is like kind of loud. Here we go. So you should still be able to definitely hear me, and the music like is in the background. Let me know if it's too distracting. Oh, I feel like it's really loud. Is it? I think it is. What do you think? Is the music too loud? Yeah. Yeah, we are just... This is gonna be a stream of fixing my stream. Okay, is that any better? It's still the same volume. What is happening? I'm like literally changing the volume. Why is it still the same volume? This is why I didn't upgrade my computer. This exact reason. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm gonna pick a different one that doesn't have lyrics. Let me do one more thing. Okay, so the music should not be as loud anymore. Oh, why do we have a... You're good and ready for happy hour tomorrow? Oh! Hang on. Oh, what? I think part of that... So I have my iPad next to me, and that's usually how I monitor my stream, except my iPad is about to die. So I think what happened was there were two audio sources coming in, so I was like adjusting one of them, but there was another one that decided to also have audio that's with it. Okay, so hopefully that's better. I think it's all better now. It shouldn't be like as obnoxious. So I usually do chat on my computer because my iPad is like, I don't know, it's too small. I would love to make the font of just one window bigger, but It increases like the font of the entire like browser, which is really annoying, as opposed to like the pop-out browser, because I pop out the chat. But okay, super fun. We get to just debug stream issues this entire time. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that music was very loud. And did it stop now? Okay, yeah, it stopped because we're going to a different song. Okay, there we go. Hopefully, should be fine now. Should be in the background is the goal of the... this is the whole point of the music, is the music should be in the background. Okay, so what we're doing today now is looking at this, and we are going to make new expenses and write them to our Vapor backend. Let me adjust my microphone. So let's go ahead, and we need to run the Vapor side. We need to open Docker because I do not have Docker running, I don't think. There we go. Docker is starting up. Can you see that? Yeah, good. I cut it off properly. So there's Docker along with like all the million of other things that are open on my computer right now. And let's do... We need to actually run two things. So let's open one more tab. Let's run Docker in this tab. Docker compose updb. So our database is up and running right here, and then a Vapor run. And we're just then running the backend Vapor from the terminal as opposed to going and running it like from the Xcode project. Oh, I forgot this is also like right by my head. There we go. And so here's my list of tasks. So today we can return the proper response codes for certain things because I kind of didn't do it like best practices wise. So we'll do that probably a little bit later, but right now we are reading expenses properly once this is running. Okay, that's running. Let's run the app and we'll see it. So we are reading expenses and we need to do the create side. And we're probably going to fix this lovely no UI scene configuration error because the latest Xcode made its own error. So if we go to expenses, we are seeing 4 expenses. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can see right here, we hit the expenses endpoint. So we don't have anything formatted, but we are seeing that, and that's good. So we want to be able to click the plus here. And right now we have a new view that just says create new expense. So we want to do that, create an expense. Let's fix this scene configuration error. Actually, switch it back to this because I don't know which screen might pop up here. We're, I think, good. Why is my... Nothing is working today. Xcode is also super weird right now. Oh, this says custom macOS. So I'm over here on the Xcode project. I didn't want to show my bundle ID yet because that shows the name of the app. And I was going to just keep the name of the app secret right now. But so you can usually click plus somewhere, supported interface orientations. And we would have been able to choose a scene configuration, but this says custom macOS target properties because this is a universal app. And oh yeah, I think this happened last time. I like forget how to fix this. Anthony, yes, this app will be on the App Store once I finish it. I do not know when that's gonna be because I figured out this is gonna take a long time to finish. We are like kind of almost there. We have like 67, tasks and to do, not too many, right? But there's still a little bit of ways to go on this. And like all I've been doing right now is just streaming it. I haven't done any work outside of what you have seen on stream. So if you've watched every series of this stream, for one, thank you so much. For two, you have seen me write every code in this app so far. Okay, so can't wait to test out. Yes, I cannot wait. I'm like debating. I think some of these streams might change up a little bit here and there when I actually go live. So that may happen, but I still want to build like everything out in the public for this app. Hey HD, how's it going? Hopes everyone is having a good day. Yes, I appreciate it. We're streaming at a different time, usually, than normal. And we need to create a new expense. So let's start doing that. We want to do... What do we want the screen to look like? We have all the properties of an expense. I need to move back to me because I'm opening an application that I think has a bunch of other stuff on it right now. Yeah, and I need to switch what workspace I'm on. Okay, we are doing post expense. And that looks like this. So here we go. So this is an app called Postman. This is what you can use to test your API. For the part where you don't have the iOS app built yet, you can use Postman. You're on your second cup of coffee for the day. You know, we all deserve the second cup of coffee. Don't limit yourself. Why stop at 2? Just keep on going. Okay, so when we create a new expense, we have to give it a category and we have to give it an account to use and all of these different properties. So the basic, let's just make a form. That's what we should do. So we will go like expense tracker, we'll hit expenses, and then when we click this plus, this is the view we are working on right now. And we'll just keep that like that. Let's make this bigger. Let's use the SwiftUI previews because I usually don't use them because they struggle bus for me, but let's see if it's got it together today. They probably don't because SwiftUI previews never does, but you need limits. Oh, don't come to my stream if you need limits. I encourage not limit. Don't have limits. We don't need limits in our lives. You deserve that third cup of coffee. Okay, let's make a form. So what do we have in our form? We will have a text field, and this has a title and a label, or we need the text too. Oh, we need to create the view model. We have that. Expense view model. What do we want to do? Do we want to... I'm gonna change the music again a little bit because I'm gonna hear it on my side. Okay, do we want to... Let's see, let's look at... Let's open Google, let's look at SwiftUI form. You need to start using Postman app. Definitely need to remember that one for sure. Yes, Postman is great. So, like, if I wanted to create a new expense, so we see all the expenses here, we have 4 right now. If we want to create a new one, let's create this one. This is, let's call it the 5th. Oops, 5th. Oh my gosh, 5th. 5th expense. Oh, we're not even printing actually the description, but let's change this to, we have what? 9,000, 9,100. Let's change it to 6,000. And ooh, we are in 2023 now, so let's update this date. What day is today? 20th? And if I were to hit send, we got back a 201 created, which is good. That means our expense was created, and we get back the expense that we sent, which is awesome. And now, if we go back to expenses, there we go. There's our brand new expense. And that's what's super nice about Postman, is that we can test that here And we can test all of the reading is working. And we haven't even built it in the iOS app yet, so that's what we're going to do today. So we were looking at SwiftUI forms. Where was that? Right here. The Simple SwiftUI Guide. I have not seen this website. Cool. Maybe we'll keep that open too. So here's Apple Docs on forums. Okay, we have a form, we have section headers. Do we want to use sections? We could use sections. We could make a big section that says expense, maybe. With like a header or something. A navigation title. Because this has headers of notifications and user profiles. That's those two. And then direct messages. Is that a picker? Yes, that's a picker. So we're going to have to make a picker. And then actually, if anyone noticed, what we're going to have to do is if we need to send a specific category and account, we need to be able to choose the options that we have out of categories and accounts, which these are both going to be lists. So we are going to have to actually fetch data within this. So let's definitely, let's call this, description, DESCR, description is equal to, it's empty, just to make this kind of be here. Okay, what does that look like? That looks like that. Makes sense. We need to make a view model for this because we're going to have to do... Or what do you think? We could make the view model in the actual expense view, so this list here, and make the view model, put the data here, and then pass that view model in to also create expense. Do you think that would be better? Oh, thank you, Ben, for subscribing. Did you hear the sound for that? Did I break all of this again? I did not hear the sound. I just happened to look over right when that happened. And my stream is getting... says some drop frames. I hope it's not dropping too many. But we're... Okay, you did hear it. Good. Thank you for confirming that. Because, yeah, this is stuttering. Is it stuttering on your side? It looks like it. Godswell, you heard the sound? Awesome. It looks like it's stuttering on my side. Is it? Hang on. Okay, so it was definitely freaking out. It's been dropping a bit. The audio has remained clear. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing all the drop frames. CPU looks fine. Is it fine now? It looks like it's better. Okay, when I click that button, look at the form. Okay. I was having some issues with the internet, so I hope it's fine now. Internet. That's the next thing I need to do is I need to buy a new cable to hardwire into my internet because I am not hardwired into it. I'm just going off Wi-Fi, which is like the first thing people tell you not to do, but you know, I did it. Okay, so let me keep that. We'll keep an eye on it. Let me know if anything's dropping. Drop it in the chat because I pay attention to the chat and I'll see that before I'll almost see my own stream having issues. Yeah, it's telling me I'm having issues right now. Bitrate is lower than the open widget. What does that do? Okay, it says healthy now. 25,000 kilobits per second. Oh, I love stream issues. Where preferences? Ooh, can I change this live? I don't know if I can. Okay. Everything says it's now healthy. I guess we will believe it for now. But I hope it's okay. Here we go. So let's continue working. Maybe we'll just work fast is what's gonna happen. So we have this form. We need to fetch data for what's in the form. And for this picker, play notifications toggle. No, we don't need that toggle. We really just need text fields. Summary receipts, profile, image size. What does that look like? Picker, that's a picker. Okay, so that's a radio button. The first one is a picker. Why is that different? Oh, picker. One is a picker, one has picker inline style. That's why. Okay, where should we put this view model? We can use, so we have our expense view that shows our different expenses. Should we throw in text? Let's do that. There we go, look at that. So now we have the list of all the expenses. Or we have the description along with that. So that can definitely help us tell the difference of all the different ones we're sending. But do we use the view model from here? From the expense view? And then we'll pass it to our create new expense view? What did I do for the other one? What do we do for settings? We have settings. We're just fetching things. And then when we do create category. Okay, that file is empty. Was that always empty? I think that was always empty. I think the whole point was some of this was gonna go into that. That's funny. Okay, maybe I'll go back to that. Oh, and I broke the preview and never fixed it. That's funny. See, I don't use previews that much. That just says hi. What do we have here? We create category, account view, enum. I might move that enum. Do I have models folders for anything? Oh, there's the models folder. Okay, category, account, view, type. Let's make a new file for that. And move this entire thing into there. Okay. So that still builds. Seems to be normal now, no frames dropping. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. That's good. I don't know what that was about. Okay, so we'll add the Xcode project file and create category, account view. What is that? That's in settings. Yeah, let's just git commit that. Git commit. Move category, account, view, type. Okay, and then we have the new view. Oh, I didn't create. Oh well. Forgot to commit the actual file with it. Oh well. Move enum to own file. There we go. Okay, so let's make this model. Yeah, let's make our own view model for this one. Because I think that's what was going on right here, even though it's empty. I think the goal was to move this out and put it into that view model, and I didn't do that. When did I... Not this one, it was this. That's funny. Okay, so let's make the new view model. Let's go settings, let's put that here. What do we call the other one? We called it create category account because we had them. Yeah, I had just asked this. I did this a little bit ago in an app, and I was wondering how to do it in this app. When you have a basic CRUD application that does create, read, update, and delete, the create and the update page look almost the same because the create page would be creating some new record with properties. The update page has the exact same information. We're just filling that data with something that already exists. So should we make a create and update, keep those two separate pages, or make only a single page and have an enum that switches on it? Yo, Giannis, how's it going? You're happy seeing some SwiftUI building in public. You've been watching Martin's workout app lately. Ooh, yes, his app. Is his SwiftUI, or I think it's UIKit actually, now I think about it. Martin's streams are really fun too. He streams too late for me though sometimes. I just have to like say hi real quick and then I have to leave very soon after. You haven't met Martin in ages. He lives in the US now. Yes, he does. I forgot you guys know, or yeah, you guys know each other. I'll have to tell him that I met you as well. I think I forgot that you guys knew each other. Oh yeah, his app is in UIKit, which is why you like seeing SwiftUI. Yes, I made this in SwiftUI. It was going to be in iOS 16 beta before iOS 16 actually came out, but because I've been working on it for so long, iOS 16 is already out, and Ventura is already out because it was in beta the last time I was working on this. Or not the last time, but when I started working on all of this. So what do you think for this next view? When you have a create and update, should those be on the same view and you just have an enum that is switching depending on which one you're on? Or should they be two different views? So one view for create and one view for update. What do you think? I called this create expense, so we're gonna have to change the name if we do combine them. I feel like two will be better to separate them, but I've heard most of the time it might as well just be one because it has the same information. So what would it be called then? Create update expense view or create edit expense view? I usually think edit because edit is more of a user kind of term, but update is more of like a database kind of term. Sometimes. But should I use two views? So Giannis, you say edit or expense edit form view. Ooh, there you go. That's a good word. I'm gonna change it to that right now. Expense form view. Love it. Okay. We are adding that right now. Git commit. Change view to expense form view. Also, I know you can hear me typing, and I know it's kind of loud, but I don't know. Someday, I'm gonna put this as a poll. Answer question, no, poll. Do an ASMR stream. No talking. Only mechanical. Keyboard. Okay, let's see what that form looks. That poll is. Would you listen? I thought about doing that one time, just doing an ASMR. Either have music in the background or not, but just like straight only typing. That's all it is. I think it would be funny, kind of. Okay, wish update was a user term as well, but edit is probably the move. Yes, but should I keep them as 2 views or do 1 for this? I think 2 views, or 1 view, sorry, with an enum switching on it. That's basically what I just did. Create account view, expense, no. That one is 1. Because it's used with a lot of things. I think that's why I separated that one. Let's do this one. Enum, expense form type. And case is new or case update. Ooh, I have a Swift Lint warning on here. Keep them separate in your opinion. What is your opinion, Via? Why? Hey, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Rakib? Or is that your first name? I think you've come in here before, I believe. Or I've talked to you somewhere, I believe, right? Your name looks familiar. How do you pronounce your name again? Can you tell me so I can get it right? So instead of fixing the Swift Lint warning, we're going to change the Swift Lint. Okay. We are going to say that new is a word that can be ignored. So when I go and build this, that will be gone. There we go. Get add.swiftlint. Commit, not am. Add new to. Yes, I spelled it right. Okay. You have a weak understanding of architecture, but you think it helps to have high-level stuff sussed out. Yes. But what's on your create and what's on your update views are usually the exact same thing. So, would it save time keeping them together versus having them separate? I've heard both cases for sure, but what does everyone else say? Ooh, 57% is winning for an ASMR stream. That would be funny. And I also need to make the view model. You can contribute to this repo. No, you cannot, because it is not open source. It is just I'm building it in public. So when you join my streams, you can see all of the code for everything that I'm doing, but you cannot contribute to this right now. If you would like to contribute to a repo, where'd I put this? If we go to github.com/myname, brain marks, if you go to my profile, you should be able to find this in the description as well below. But if you go to my profile, brain marks is a repo that I have. It's open source for saving Twitter bookmarks. You can contribute to this. I'm about to do some updates for it, like later today, right after stream. But we're not 100% sure the fate of that app right now with everything going on with Twitter. Maybe you don't mince files. Wait, you don't mince files and keep it easy? You mean mix, or? Mincing files. Maybe, but it's pretty similar. Don't make it harder. Because you'll have, it prevents copying code though, a lot. We're gonna make a final class, expense form view model. It's an observable object, I think. You're learning lots already. Good, I am glad. Going back to your project, I hope everyone has a good day. Probably should change my YouTube name to my Twitter name. See ya, Mikaela, and other and via in chat. Yeah, have we talked on Twitter before? Let me know, because yeah, it's sometimes, yeah, names don't 100% transfer because people change their usernames between places. But yeah, HD, thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day and good luck on your project. Okay, let's do, I think I'm gonna combine them because somebody had said that they combined them, so I'm gonna do that. And I've done it before. I go back and forth if it's worth it or not. So let's just make this form. Take this out. We are going to have at state object private var view model, and this is an expense form view model. And let's make a property. Right there. So we could do, actually, why did I delete that? Text field, text label. This is view model dot description. That is description. Some replies for sure. Okay, awesome. Oh no, the no is winning on the poll now. That's funny. Okay. So we did that. What else do we need for an expense? We need category, account. Okay, let's do amount and a date. That's gonna go first. Okay, I can't just type amount there, but amount is going to be also a text field. We need to create something, and this is going to say, there we go, that's where we're gonna put amount. And we need a variable. Oh, this went back to, I don't know, what was the currency? Did we do integer? I think we did use an used an integer, I know, on the back end. Okay, this is gonna be a string. And then we'll have to convert it. Value formatter, thank you. Oh, we're gonna put that. Is that, can that go in inside of here? Is that where we can put that? I know I've seen that before too. In a text field. Oh, it has a value. Value, then formatter, okay. Why is that not coming up as a initialization? Yeah, second argument is a formatter. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is not coming up, and I need to cough again. There's like something in my throat. Hopefully I'm fine. No, I need to do it again. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, I think I know why this is not coming up. Where's the one with the format? There we go. Text value formatter. So this would be amount. Binding would be view model dot amount formatter. What is the formatter? Abstract class for NS formatter. How do we use it though? Oh, displaying human-friendly content. Oh, hey Paul, how's it going? Value formatter is a great choice if you need to target older versions of iOS, but you might find the newer version of value format easier. Press dot and discover their options. Something like text field, enter a number, some number, dot number. Okay. Why is that not coming up? Oh, I'm on a different initializer. Hang on. Okay, so you had text field, enter a number, value formatter. Okay, you are using this initializer, I believe. So if we say amount, view model dot amount, and then we have dot. Why is number not coming up? Does not accept a closure. I'm not using a closure. What? Oh, it's format. That you said that. Yes. There we go. Oh, it has both. That's why. Okay, so that then means this has to be a decimal is what it looks like. String. Okay, so if we make this 0.0. Ooh, there we go. So if we were to then, a very subtle difference. That seems to be all of SwiftUI. It's just like, oh, you change one little thing and then that's it. Okay, make the keyboard, oh, let's run it to make the whole keyboard come out because it's not doing it. So if we go to expense, we hit the plus. Okay, so we still have the text keyboard, so we're definitely going to change that to the only numbers, so people cannot type anything other than numbers, because that's the whole point of currency. Okay. So if we look at this initializer, if you hold Option, click on text field, we see a control that displays an editable text interface, and tells us enter something, that's the name of something. On submit, ooh, you can validate. Disable autocorrection, true. Actually, that's probably a good idea. And foreground color, if it's focused or not. What should happen if amount was 0, 0? So technically, if the amount was like 00012, when you do the conversion of like putting it into a decimal, you should be able to change it so it's only 12. So you would cut off like the beginning parts of this. And it would just be a normal number because leading zeros don't matter. Where? Oh, I was like, what were we reading a second ago? We were reading this initial. And we have on submit. You would change the keyboard too. Yes, definitely gonna change the keyboard. Nice. What? Wait, what are our other options? Ooh, we have currency code. What's that do? USD is the currency I have. Let's also, while we're at it, let's change the keyboard. Here we go. Numeric keyboard Swift UI. Keyboard type, is that what it is? Sets the keyboard type. Okay, so if we do dot keyboard type, look at that. Number pad. Oh wait, what were the other options? We have number. No, we only want numbers. You can hit Command-Shift-L to see the text field modifiers in the SwiftUI library. Oh yeah, I never use that. I thought Command-Shift-L showed you the library. Oh yeah, that is the library. That's exactly what you just said. But you said it's about the modifiers within that. Numpad would be your options. Yes. Okay, we hit the plus. Ooh, look at that. How do we make the decimal show up? There's no decimal. Maybe decimal pad for the keyboard, unless folks are paying in whole dollars. So, this was something I've been debating on how to do this, but it'll be... I'm saving the data in the backend in an integer with the currency code. And then, on the front end, I'll format it for whichever currency is the proper one. So I am going to be saving it as an integer, but technically how you can enter the amount is still... You can enter the amount as an integer, but I'll be saving it as an integer. But what you may see... you can enter it as a decimal. That's what it is. You can enter the data as a decimal number, but I will be saving it as an integer. But then when we go back out of the database, you can then view it as the original decimal. For the whole fact of later on we'll do multiple currency, but right now it'll be only be a single one. Giannis, yes, I'm using Postgres on the back end. Let's do decimal pad. Specifies a keyboard with numbers and a decimal point. That's funny. So you just have numpad, which does only numbers, and then you have one that has actually a decimal. When you click this, now we have a decimal. It's like it's just a whole different enum. That's funny. Okay, so if you did... So yeah, you could erase the whole thing, technically. Okay, so that's good. Now we could technically enter whatever we want. What other fields do we have? We have description, we have amount, we have currency, which we are going to default to whatever they choose. Right now it's probably going to be hard-coded at USD. The date. We need the date. What order do we want to put that in? We'll put the date between here. What is this? Is it just a date picker? Yeah. Create an instance of date with an unbound range. On or after some date. Let's do this. Okay, we need a date object. Oops, 0.0 at published var date. Hendrik, you launched your first iOS app at work a week or two ago. You had to support it back to iOS 14. What a nightmare. I was just looking at the App Store the other day. Did you know that YouTube supports back to iOS 14 as well? But that's really, it's amazing that YouTube goes back to iOS 14, and that's only two versions back. It's way better than Android. Usually you have to go back 3, 4, 5 or something crazy. Hey, 14 is better than 13, SwiftUI. On the bright side. I'm gonna move this again because the preview just sometimes I don't like it. You were just consulting on an app that was back to iOS 12. Oh man, that's the farthest back we have so far here in the chat. Oh, we need to not have a time because I don't care about the time. I only care. Technically, I will record the time something happens, but I really only care about the date something happened. Let's look that up. If we do, ooh, wait, is this gonna download something on my computer immediately? No, it's the dub session. Okay, maybe we'll look at that later. Let's look at anything before SF symbols is dead to you. Wow, it's rough. iOS 15 is only in the future. iOS 15 plus only in the future. With legacy code in Objective-C. Fun. I still have not learned Objective-C. I will maybe at some point, but I haven't yet. Let's look up date picker without time. And we need to specify SwiftUI because we are getting web results, and that is not what we do here. And let's go to hacking with Swift. Okay, label is hidden. What's that do? If you have two problems. No. Oh, displayed components. Ooh. Do we have that one? Oh, there we go. Displayed components. Date. There we go. Let's see. You probably won't need any more. Anything not ported over from Objective-C will probably need to be replaced now anyways. Yeah. Objective-C is getting up there. But really, Apple still uses Objective-C, so if you want to work at Apple, you probably... No, I don't want to say all the time, but you probably will also be doing Objective-C. And look at that. Here we go. We can choose a date. And... we don't have the time. Awesome. So, we have 3 of these. We have the 3 easy ones. That's what we've done. So let's commit that. So we added our, we added the whole view model. We haven't committed that at all. We have our view model. We have our enum type that we haven't done anything with, and we've started the form. Git add. Let's go back to our code. What do we do? We did start the expense form view. You gotta duck, this'll be fun, you'll be back. Yes, thank you for dropping by, even though I texted you to tell you to come by. I will be here probably for about another hour or so, and then I'll probably be dropping after that too. So if you're here within an hour, let me know. Objective-C is a legacy to Apple too. Yeah, but isn't like the whole OS, like iOS is built in Objective-C, and they like have no plans of changing it to Swift, right? I thought that's what I had heard, or yeah. So we need category and account. Let's do account first because it's the easy one. We need to get the accounts and display them in a picker. Can you put a for each in a picker? You probably can. Let's see, does anything else do a for each with a picker? We have a toggle. Okay, here, oh, there it is. Yep, there's a for each. Okay. You think it's a reasonably large amount of work to replace all of iOS just updating the language? Oh yeah, definitely. I thought that was one of the original arguments. So I started iOS only with Swift, and actually with Swift 3, so it was like I did not have to do the 2 to 3 conversion. But I thought Objective-C was faster than Swift, and that was the one of the big reasons why a lot of people didn't like it initially. thanks, Paul, for retweeting me. I usually have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I didn't even see it. But thank you. Okay, there we go. Let's do... Yeah, we need to fetch data. That's the next thing we need to do. We have sort of kind of done it. And now we are going to need to do my whole network manager thing the way I have it put together. It's the first time you managed to catch live. Yes! Yeah, I usually stream 9 a.m. Eastern. Right now, I streamed at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Usually to catch people, yeah, from, not the UK specifically, but like all of Europe, is usually easier if I stream in the morning because it's their afternoon. But, I had to stream later today. I have not been waking up at 9. I think it's since Singapore. I haven't been able to wake up yet, and I thought I was sick for a minute there. I don't know if it was like major random jet lag that like hit me like delayed after. I feel like my sleep schedule has still not recovered, and I'm about to like start traveling again anyways, so it's not going to fully recover anyways. So we're just living life. Okay, how did we do? We fetched expenses this way. With this network manager, I feel like I probably made this whole networking thing slightly more complicated than it needs to be, but I did it so I could try to unit test it, which has worked. But it just makes the implementation of all of it slightly difficult, and I like forget how to do it every single time. Are you targeting iOS 15 plus? I am targeting iOS 16 plus. We don't even have iOS 15 here. And let me see, I'm switching. Yes, it's iOS 16.0 plus. And I didn't want to show it because I just didn't want to show my bundle ID at the moment. Because I already have an app, I already have a name for this app. I finally thought of it. I just don't want to share it just yet because it's an expense tracker. That's the only unique thing about it, is the name. Everybody else is expense trackers. They all do the same thing, essentially. So we are on iOS 16 plus for this application. And we need to get an expense network manager. We need one of these also in here. How am I doing this? Actually, you usually do, the point is to do public before private ones. So there. So we have that, and then we need to also make the same initializer. And we need to then fix here. And we declare it using HTTP client called networking. Expense network manager, yeah. Okay, so here we need our parameter, network manager, and this is called networking. I believe is our concrete class. No, this is the generic class. Oh yeah, the generic one is what we need. Cannot convert value. Oh. Expense network manager. Why did I do it that way? What was the point of this? We have fetch expenses. Fetch expenses happens here in expense network manager. Is that. And then I need to write this down what this flow is because I forget it every time I do a network call. I'll be back. I have my iPad sitting over here. We're gonna write this down finally. Okay. I am probably not gonna show this part on stream because it'll be super quick. Let's just go. code notes. Okay, I did this networking specifically so I could unit test this, but every time I implement it, I forget why I did it this way. So let's look at one that already works, which we know if we go out of here, we build out the settings. So when we go to the settings screen right here, you can see that we are fetching a bunch of stuff. And then there's all these tests in whitespace and Postman tests, and I haven't deleted anything in the database yet. But we click the plus, we can create an income category, an expense category, or an account. So if we click create account, what are the options we have? We have already created checking, saving, investments, taxes, rainy day. What's another mock class we could create? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's weird. What is going on? What is streaming? Let's Google that. I don't know what that is. Skipping output stream? What is that? I'm not even using AV Player. Why is that happening? What is going on? Product scheme. OS activity mode disable. I might as well do that. That's just basically you just make it go away, so technically it's happening, but you just don't know what's happening. Let's do it. Edit scheme. Was it arguments? Yeah, arguments OS activity mode. Hey, Lucian, thank you for subscribing. I need to fix my sound. I'm gonna have to do that probably next stream. Is that I'm glad you all can hear the alert that happens, but I accidentally broke it on mine that I don't hear the sound anymore. Okay, OS activity mode. Was it disable? Disable. Okay. Close. If we rerun this. Why did the app build 5 seconds ago, but now it didn't build? What? That's weird. Cannot convert value. Yes. Network manager. Expense network manager. How did I do this? Oh, and it's an expense. Oh, here it is. This is what we need. And it takes in networking. Expense network manager. So then this network manager handles all the expenses. That was what I was going to look up to. Build failed. And I forgot a bracket. And that line is really long. That's what that warning is. Okay. So we have all these. Nothing is in the console again. Good. It's just gone. We just ignored it. Okay, yeah. So when we click create account, actually, let's not do create account. Let's do expense categories. What's another category? Even though these could totally just be category 1, 2, 3, I'm like using real values, so it kind of looks more real. Which one? We will do equipment, professional services, credit cards, subcontract. What else do we spend money on? Let's say subscriptions. That's one. So let's type it all out. Subscription. There. Hit create. We have subscription. Ooh, bad response. What was the bad response that just came back? That's the other thing. I do not have proper error handling in this. That is on the list of things to do. I don't know what would have given us that, though. We'll look into that. Let's finish looking at the whole reason why I did this whole networking thing. I'm confused myself every single time. So if we are in expense view, we have expense view model. Inside of the view model, we have a network manager that is of type expense network manager. So that is a concrete type. And then it takes in what is called the HTTP client, which we use as networking. Networking, I think, is the generic abstract. Not generic abstract, that's the same word, pretty much. This is the concrete implementation of it. Yeah. The generic implementation of networking calls is networking. So this is what actually makes the networking calls. The HTTP client is the protocol for those, which right now is just two things of fetch and send data. Networking is the HTTP client. Okay. The HTTP client is the protocol. Networking is the concrete class. Of HTTP client. Also, hey everybody, I think this is the most people I've had in a stream in a while. So, welcome, by the way. We are working through how I put all the networking code together, because I forget every single time I do it, so I'm finally writing it down for every time I implement something. And thank you for joining my stream. If you haven't been here before, my name is Mikaela. This is me building an expense tracker live. I haven't planned really too much ahead of time, just like the goal of what I'm trying to do. And the whole point of this stream is you can watch me build something live and like see all the thought that actually goes into it. And because it's an expense tracker app, this is not a new concept or idea. You can find literally a million of them on the App Store right now. I'm just, also building one as well. And then we have a custom Vapor backend. So Vapor is a server-side Swift framework. So instead of using something like Node.js or Django and Python to build the backend, we are going to build the backend in Swift using Vapor. And so if you like this series, be sure to like this video because that helps, because I don't have too much on my YouTube channel right now. I pretty much only do live streams right now. But you can like this, and I have it pinned on the chat, or you can see it in the description, is you can buy me a coffee. And if you buy me a coffee while I'm on stream, then that'll show up over that way. I put the wrong way. It's over that way. So yeah, thanks to everybody who's dropping by right now. So looking at this networking code, I did it this way basically so that I could unit test it. And I have been able to successfully unit test it. Because of how I put it together, I forget how I put it. I forget how to write my own code every single time. Hey Susie, how's it going? Have you heard from the App Store yet? Susie is submitting her first app to the App Store. Settings Network Manager. Expense Network Manager. Okay, so this is the one I would unit test. Okay. You just got approved! Woo! That's the next thing I need in my stream. I don't have sound effects, so yay! So happy for you. I don't have a super big, annoying horn sound, but that's what I would do if I had that. Woo! And Susie, go talk to Giannis. Giannis is pretty cool. Hendrik, Paul Hudson is here. Woo! So excited for you. Is it released? Drop the link here. Let us all see what it is. Okay, what am I doing? I did this network manager to do all of my expenses. The view model, the network manager. The network manager manages stuff with the network, but it doesn't call it directly. It's the client that calls everything. It's not released yet, just approved. You are one step closer. When are you going to release it then? I actually didn't know you could do that for like the longest time. I thought you could just, once it's accepted, it's then on the App Store. I like didn't realize that you could like manually release an app for like a long time. Expenses, fetch expenses. Model.fetch expenses. You thought you had to wait for them. No, so basically go look at, you may have set it. So by default, I think it is set to automatically release. So it might already be released. So go to App Store Connect. I think it's on app information, I want to say. Scroll like all the way to the bottom of it and you should see it'll say release this automatically, so that we'll release it the second it's approved, or there's like a manual release. Hey, how do you pronounce your name again? Is it I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, who just said hi, Mikaela. It starts with an A. Please let me know how to pronounce your name so I don't like very poorly butcher it. The page with all the screenshots. Yeah, so that should be the main like information page, I want to say. You can try. I'm really bad at names. Can you tell me how to pronounce it so I can do it correctly? Names are really difficult. It says auto release selected. No, auto release means that if your app was approved by the App Store, that means it was released. So it should be on the App Store if you search it. And I believe, I don't know if there's a link to the app within App Store Connect, or if you just search your own app name, you might be able to find it, but that does sometimes take 24 hours to like fully propagate like through the App Store. So that might take a minute, but you should be able to see it. Yeah, exactly what Jonas just said as well. So we have client, we have networking. But up to 24, indeed. Yes, it takes time. Is that what they do if you do an App Store release and you do a pre-release where people can pre-order? Does that mean that they like fix the whole like, does that mean they will actually like propagate the whole search and everything? So it's like once your app is like the second it's released, it like is good? Is that how that works? It's Abdul. Is it Abdul High? Is that it? Or Abduli? Is the first one or second one? Hey Jay, how's it going? You have no experience, yeah, with that. Yeah, I haven't done pre-releases either. I was reading about it like earlier today. I'm trying to figure out again how I put my network manager together, because I straight up do not remember. I forget every single time when I'm about to do networking code. I forget how I did it. The one without the high. So Abduli. That's it. Okay, Jay, I just texted you, by the way. Abduli. Okay. Welcome, Abduli. Thank you for dropping by and for telling me how to pronounce your name, because I'm very bad at names and I would like to pronounce it correctly for you, rather than very poorly pronounce it, because that's not nice. We can figure out how to pronounce names. It's not hard. You just have to learn. Okay, So we are putting my networking code together. So I have a generic HTTP client, which is right here. And then it takes in the concrete class of networking, which networking does my actual fetch request and does a post request. And then I create what is called a network manager. And this is, I have one right here too. This is the one that actually does all the network calls for the view model. So let's do that. Something. And I'm writing this down, not on screen right now, but basically, yeah, I forget how to do this every single time, so I'm writing it down finally. Does the... Okay, there we go. So there's only 3 pieces to this. I don't know why I get confused every single time. But that's it. That's all it is. Okay, so we have our expense network manager. And we could use the same one, and I was thinking about this as I have it put together, that we already have our network manager and expense view model. So I could pass, when I go to expense form view, we could pass the whole view model, the expense view model, or create a new view model for the new view. Abdelli, you do Android and it's a pain in the ass. iOS and Swift is way cooler. Everyone in my chat will not disagree with you on that because I only do iOS. So, all my iOS peeps that are here in chat, comment the iPhone emoji if you agree with what Abdelli said. Okay. So, let's see. One day I may get into Android. I just haven't yet. I just really like iOS so far still. So I haven't taken the time to learn Android. Okay, we can close this. We can close this. We'll have that one open. And now, instead... And you're switching to web. That's fun. What are you doing within web? And so I have this view, and I present our form view that we're working on. Should I make 2 view models, one for each one of these views, or should I pass one view model into the next view and just use them all? We should probably keep them as 2. They do kind of 2 different things. Line length violation. You learn what you have and you... Oh, you learn... I learned what I have and you don't have Android. Yes. Yeah. So Jade does iOS dev for that reason. Abdelli, you're doing full stack web with React and Golang. Ooh, that sounds fun. I have not done React. I know nothing about React other than just what it is. And then I have not touched Golang either, but I also know what it is. Just I haven't used that one either. My phone's getting toasty because I was watching my own stream on my phone to try to like check that it was all good, and my phone started getting toasty. Is that an issue with is that an issue with YouTube? My phone should not get toasty watching a YouTube video. That's weird. Okay, so we have everything. Let's keep it 2 view models. We're just gonna, initialize another new object, even though it's the same object from one view to the next with the networking stuff. That's fine. So we can make an expense network manager that works with the expense view, and then we could have another expense form network manager that is specific to this form. So if anybody knows more about architecture than I am, let me know if I'm doing this wrong, but I am gonna separate those. Expense network manager, yeah, no, we don't have a protocol for this, so that's why it's a concrete thing. So let's go back, expenses, and we have views. Where did I put that network? Let's do expense form network manager. And this is where I would love if, oh, what is his name? I can think of it right now. John Reed was here right now. He does a lot of unit testing stuff, and he would be able to say whether or not we're abstracting this correctly, or because he knows all the unit testing secrets. Okay, we have an expense network manager. We are doing an expense form network manager. And then here is where we have our actual stuff that does the networking, sort of, that does the network calls. And then this is the one that we would actually end up unit testing. So I unit tested the settings one, and I haven't unit tested this one yet. Because I feel like it's more fun to see all it happen, but we're like sprinkling in some testing. But that's okay. So I need to make expense form network. This one will be expense form networking, and then there. Okay, now if we build this should build. And we just have our Swiftlet warnings, which we can get rid of. Maybe I should get rid of this line length. I make a lot of these that are really long lines. I don't like that. Is that what I did on the other one? I think that is what I did on expense. Yeah, because this line ends up being really, really long. Okay, there we go. Built. Build succeed. Oh, that was a lot of changes. Let's do get restore staged. We are going to restore expense, shared expenses, views. Is it this one? Expense views, view form? No. I'm gonna restore the one that's in the, what is this called? The staging area right now, because I only want to commit the scheme for a minute. No, it doesn't matter that much. It's just me. We'll just do it together. Okay. Okay, git commit. And what do? We are making our expense form view. No, expense form network manager. What did what did I just call that? Get log. Expense form. Oh, I did not type anything else. Yes, I use the command line mostly for committing code because I already have my hands on the keyboard because I'm coding something. It's faster for me to just type a commit rather than like click around, add specific things, and then commit it. I'm like, well, I'm already here, so I might as well just keep on typing. Git commit. We need to amend it because I did not type anything other than expense form network manager. Let's say using. Using expense form network manager for expense form view. There we go. Okay. So that is committed. So we have that going. one day we'll go back to writing tests. I wrote tests for some of this. So I wrote them for the settings network manager that I had created, but I have not done it for the other ones since then. But technically, yeah, it's the infrastructure is here if I want to continue doing more unit testing. Because that was actually the YouTube video that had the most views for a minute. I think this one now might surpass it. So thank you for everybody who is joining. I appreciate it, and if you are here, be sure to like this video, because right now my channel is only live streams. For the most part, it's only live streams. I haven't taken too much time to make, like, YouTube videos. I've only really done live streams. Okay, we have finally done that, and the fact that we have now done that means we can finally move on to using this to make a network call. So we're gonna copy one of these, and instead, that looks like almost the same thing because there's one word that's different. So instead of fetching expenses, for creating an expense, we need to have our categories and we need to have the accounts. So like where this expense came from and then which category it falls under. Let's do accounts first because it has sort of less things. It's actually very similar. But let's do fetch accounts. And then once we have this, this will then give us the, what is that called? The values that we will then put into a picker like this for each loop for this form. So it looks like this. We would click on this and then like more options come up. And we can choose something. So that's the code that we are going to be writing. Let's get our accounts. We fetch accounts already. We do that in settings. Settings network manager. Is there a fetch accounts? There is a fetch accounts. Let's copy this function because we don't need to type everything. We have fetch accounts because we change the endpoints every time, and these are just structures. I think this is, yeah, this is an enum, and then it has static variable for accounts. And we have our account, we use our client to go fetch it, and then we return the accounts using async await. And inside of our view model, we can call that function from here. And then that could give us the accounts. So let's do at published var accounts. This is account. So that's an empty array. So func fetch accounts self dot accounts is equal to network manager dot fetch accounts, and we need to make this async await. Ooh, did I handle the do try catch? Did I do that in here? So I don't handle it here. When I was in expense, where was the other one? Views view model, expense view model. Okay, we handled that here with some lovely error handling of nothing. So let's do that. Do catch. Move this over to here. And I saw a main actor somewhere. Yes. So this is something I don't know as much about as the whole main actor concurrency thing. Donnie Walls gave a really good talk about Swift concurrency at iOS Conf SG that Paul and I were both at, actually. And that can give you a lot of good information about that and how to use it. But I don't for sure know. I just know you can do this. I can't remember if this makes this whole function run on the main thread or if it's like just this part of it gets on the main thread. We'll see. But we're just building this. It'll work. It's just an expense tracker app. It could just be me who uses this at first and like a closed beta of some sort. But then we can always change things later and fix it as we go. It's the whole function from your understanding, Jay. Honestly, I want to say you're probably right. We can decorate. Is it for? Because this function should not technically run on the main thread. It should really only be that part. Cannot be mutated from a non-isolated context. Okay. That's probably why we put the whole thing in main actor. Oh, not main. Oh, did anyone see that they are going to deprecate UI? Is it the app delegate, I think, is getting deprecated? Swift language, deprecate. Here it is. Yeah, this was just approved, is UI application main is going to be deprecated. And very recently, I also learned deprecated and depreciated are not the same word. I thought they were. They are not. Deprecated means no longer being used. Depreciated means losing value. I thought they were the same thing. I thought people were just pronouncing it differently. But no, they're two different words. Who knew? Oh, I need to record. Oh, can I record this? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna record this just for... I might start recording. Okay, let's see if this recording works for just this thing. I'm gonna say it again. That deprecated and depreciated are two different words. So deprecate means no longer being used, like your function is being deprecated or an API is being deprecated, whereas the word depreciated means it's something that's losing value. So it's like the API doesn't lose value, it's not depreciated, it's deprecated. They are two different things. Let's see, stop recording. I hope my stream doesn't stop, we'll see. Stop recording? Okay, looks like that worked. And yeah, Koopa, surprised it's getting deprecated? Yes, I am too, because I didn't think that would be something that would be passed, but I don't follow the Swift language evolution too closely. But that is interesting. But when you think about it, from more recently, iOS, what is it? What are we on now? We're on 16. It was pretty much almost since Swift UI. And I think it was iOS 12 it was. We've gone from an app delegate to an app delegate in a scene configuration with a scene delegate. So you have app delegate and scene delegate. And then later on you only had scene delegate. The app delegate was gone. And then now in Swift UI, you don't have either of them. They just all exist, kind of. They all exist and they're there, but you don't see them as much. So like that has been a big point of confusion, I know, as of lately for a lot of beginners. So it makes sense it's kind of going that way, but I think it is also confusing, and I have no idea how to change apps to not use that anymore. Okay, that was like a tangent, and a lot of this stream has been a tangent. But that's okay, we're getting there. We're almost-ish there. Okay, sorry, just messaging on how I have stuff set up today. Like, look at my calendar. Okay. So, we did this. We need to print this error, because we haven't done that. I use emojis in my code, as you can see in my console, because it's fun. Paul, it's just the UI application main attribute that's going away because it's useless since at main came out. It was a bit of a specialized hack and the newer version is better. Oh, okay, so if you start a new UI kit project today, you'll get at main rather than at UI application main. That makes sense. I don't even remember saying UI application main. Is that on, what is that first? It's on either the app delegate or it's on the scene delegate, I'm guessing, is where that was. But I don't remember where that's at. So it's not actually getting deprecated, it's that wrapper. That makes more sense. Yeah, I spelled error wrong. Anyone else see this? E-R-R-O-R. There we go. So you can see it's not super useful, as in I print bad response like error. So this means technically my HTTP client, not the client, the networking, this should handle errors better, but the way I have it is just, it's only handling a couple. If I really need to do something more in depth, then I do more in depth debugging. And nothing of value was lost. So yeah, I only handle, I get a 201 back, if I get 401 or 500, otherwise I just get bad response coming back. So that's what was printed earlier, and I like have no idea what it was, because it's basically, if it wasn't one of these like 2-3 options, I just say bad response. Which there's different ways to handle that, or you can just handle the ones you want and then again have a generic bad response error. So we are doing this to fetch our accounts, setting accounts. And so technically, if we go into our form view, on form, if we do @on up here, and we would do view model.fetch accounts. And because this with some concurrency, let's actually just put it in a task. And this needs to be a wait. Then inside, where was I going to put the accounts? We were going to put the accounts. Description is going to be last, so we will put it right here. And from this post, we have picker. Let's just copy the whole thing, because that's what actual programming is. We have that, so preview index. Oh, it saves the index of which one, and then loops through them that way. Is that an array? Do I want to save the index, or I can save the actual account object if I want? Which one do I want to do? Let's save the account object. So we will need, we have our accounts at published, that is not an @sign, at published var, let's call it selected account is equal to it is going to be an optional account, so this will be dot selected account, label text, this will say account for each. Oh, I can't remember. I think this needs to be, oh no, I think I made accounts. Let's see, extension account. Oh no, I haven't made an extension on account. I was thinking this needs to conform to identifiable or like hashable of some sort, but we don't have a warning yet, so let's keep on going. We want to show the account name, so this one would be account, and we would show account.name. Build. Does this build? It builds. Okay, let's run it. Let's see. So we go to expenses. We click on the plus. Ooh, we got checking account right here. And look at that. There we go. All of our different accounts. The selection nil is invalid and does not have an associated tag. This will give undefined results. That means we have to select one to begin with, I believe, is what that is telling us, because right here it's nil, and that's what it doesn't like, is when this is first initialized, nothing is there. Oh, and this is totally not changing. Come on, what did this post say? It should look like this. Add a button to the form. We don't care about a button. I've had this before. Why is this not changing? Also, it's kind of ratchet that this UI changed from between iOS versions without doing anything to your code. This changed. It used to navigate you over to a list, and now it doesn't anymore. But also, I think that's part of the picker style that I have. If I did picker style dot menu, is that it? Is menu the one that navigates me over? Nope. Inline. Segmented. Not a segmented control. Ooh, wheel. I know what wheel is. Let's see what that would look like. Oh, that's funny. I don't like that, but it's kind of funny. Okay, we need to make it so it like actually is choosing one. We'll do the default. We also need to put this in a navigation view. Navigation view. Is it that one? There we go. Did that do the automatic indent? Body, okay. So if we refresh this, expenses, this, nothing happened because let's do dot navigation title. Ooh, that's gonna have to change, but it's gonna be called new expense right now. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Look, it goes under the view. That's not good. As you're targeting iOS 16 and later, it's time to kiss goodbye navigation view and embrace navigation stack. Would you still do that if all I want to do is have like a create and a cancel button? Would that still be the way, is using a stack, or would it be a navigation view? Paul Hudson is speaking the truth as usual. Navigation view is deprecated, so it is. Oh, it is? Why is it not telling me? So it's down to you. Why did it not tell me? Okay, hang on. Let's get rid of that. Do Shift Tab to go back. Okay, we'll get to the navigation view in a second. There's more decisions we need to make. Okay, first let's make this picker work because it's still broken. So it's not saving which one we're clicking on. We have viewModel.selected account here, but it is not saving it. Do we have to put a tag on these? Is that why? Tag has to be hashable. Do I have an account? I can't remember if I made account hashable. Let's see. Account. Okay, I made account hashable, so. Okay, it is still not saving this. They frequently soft deprecate things in SwiftUI, so it isn't too annoying for developers. That means they are marking things with an iOS version of, what is that, like 10,000, 100,000? Why is this picker not working? It should look like this. Okay, whatever. It should, but it is not. It looks like that, but it doesn't work. Create a new section for a toggle. Create a new variable. Track which one. I believe the tag should be account as account. It shouldn't need to be. So this tag just said tag has to be hashable. and I do have account as hashable. Hey Tim, how's it going, by the way? I do have account as hashable, so yeah, right here. Yo, I'm doing the same thing. Private selected flavor is an optional flavor for each of all of these. What? If you change selected flavor to be non-optional, you need to remove the optional cast. Yeah, well, that makes sense. For each automatically applies a default tag to each. Yeah, it applies a default tag. I shouldn't need to explicitly state it. Using the ID. Hey, how's it going? Or wrap it in some account. How do you pronounce your name? Can you let me know so I can pronounce it correctly for you? I want to try to pronounce everyone's name properly because I'm just bad at naming. Is the S for Sarush? Your first name is Sarush. Paul, look at that. Actually, I know who you are, actually. It rhymes with the roof. Are you the person who gave the coordinators talk? Like, in 2014, I think? Yes, you're the coordinator guy. Oh, 2015. Okay, I'm close. Hello, welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Tim, you said, remember I had a little way to go when you use an optional published value. Yeah, but that's exactly what this said to do. What we just read right here. Yeah. Thank you for dropping by my stream. I appreciate it. Selected. Yeah, see, we're using this exact same thing. We have a picker with something. Selection is selected something. This is nil. For each is looping through something. And it has an option. Why is this giving us an error? Okay, what does Google say? You could also try giving the selected account a default value for the first one. Yes, the account, this one, the only thing about that is this is from a network call. So because of that, technically the network call won't be back yet. I don't think. Not when it's initialized, I know, but... Let's see, picker selection invalid. Somebody had this in October. Select 1, 2, 3, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, well theirs has... Okay, let's first get rid of the tag, because we know that this tag is inherent. Then you have to tell your tag... Oh, I have to tell the tags to have an optional account. Oh. Ooh, like that? Let's see, does that build? That builds, let's see. Okay, expenses. Hit plus. No, it's still there. Oh, but it's changing now. Okay, so we are getting changing. Why is this not taking up all the space? Why is the word checking account not right here? That's weird. Swift UI is weird. Okay, so we have it changing properly right now with the whole optional tag. But it's still telling us picker, the selection nil, is invalid and does not have an associated tag. If I say that this is optional, do I have to set it to nil? That's like default. I shouldn't. Yeah, that's redundant. Like my Swift lint rule is telling me that that's redundant. Sarush and Paul are here. I know, it's crazy here. So many well-known people. Thank you for dropping by. Okay. Redundant optional. Okay, we got rid of that. You spent a good hour trying to get the picker to format a little row like the other night, and you gave up. Aw, Aaron. It's okay to give up though, because like sometimes you just have to step away and you'll come back and like figure out the answer, which I hope is what happens here. Yeah, thank you to Sarush, yeah, for explaining that. That makes sense. But still odd picker value needing. Oh wait, still odd that picker need that initial value for the dynamic. Ooh, what did they do? They have. Why did they call their picker like that? Selected, they gave. Theirs has a default value for their field value. Basically added an empty tag to solve. What? I don't like that. What would that do? If this fixes it, I'm probably just gonna leave the warning there. That's weird. What does this do? Okay, no, that does not fix it. Good, because that shouldn't have. That would have been weird. Oh, but account was empty then. That still would have been weird. You switch to menu has a better layout formatting options. You know, Aaron, that might be the way to go. Another idea, what if you added another row with a tag of nil? Ooh, so let's try that. So after we do this, let's do accounts. How do we add something at the beginning? Append adds it at the end. I forget what's at the end of the array. What's the thing for adding it at the beginning of an array? And this is what we Googled because I don't remember how to do things, but I know that there's something to do that. Whoa, this website is weird. Insert. That makes sense. Insert new element at. The new element will. Ooh, can I insert nil? It doesn't like nil. Adding that. Insert using 0 at the index. Paul, you're on top of it. I wonder if you were able to type that faster than I was able to Google it, though. Giving the text and the picker. Let's see. Let's see. He was thinking add it at the beginning of an extra tag. Okay. Let's do that. For each. Oh, I would put it right here. Text. Or not dot nil. It's tag of nil. Failed. Because I didn't write that right. Or maybe tag account question mark dot none. Ooh, is that, what is that? Let's see, account question mark dot none. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it builds. That is progress. Ooh, it's not there. And we have something empty. There we go. That's weird. That's so weird. Especially then you have like a forever empty state. It's the syntactic sugar for optional account. Oh, makes sense. But what, okay. We have solved that. We're gonna commit this while it's solved and the warning is not there. Okay, what do? We fetched accounts and added it to the picker. Fetch accounts and add to picker on expense form view. Okay. So that works and it no longer has the wording, which is good, but I don't know how I feel about this nil being here. It's kind of, I think it's just kind of weird why we can't default to like the first one is kind of annoying, but also if anyone knows what is going on with this whole why is there a line break? There's enough there's enough room for the word checking and enough room for the word saving. Investment fits across there. So does taxes and rainy day. Why does checking not have enough room? We'll leave it, but Aaron, you had mentioned SwiftUI and menu. What does this one look like? Menu a control for presenting a menu of actions. You don't say. I wish they really need, I know some of the docs that they have it, but I would love a screenshot so I could see, like, when they say menu, what does the menu look like? Like, can I know? Does Paul have screenshots on his? Let's see. Ooh, we do. We have a GIF. Okay. Is it playing? Order, menu. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this actually looks very similar. But the thing is, with this as a menu as opposed to a picker, we're not actually executing anything. We really are just selecting a value. So technically, I want to say picker would be the best, would be the right control to use in this case. But yes. Okay, so we have accounts. We're just gonna leave it. I kind of don't like this. Well, let's write a thank you, Suresh, for thinking of that, but we're gonna comment this because I think it's kind of weird. To prevent warning about nil account in the picker. That's just weird. Does giving the text in the picker a frame with a max width of infinity work? Let's see. Giving the picker frame max width. Ow, I can't type the whole thing. Max width of dot infinity. Let's get rid of this and run. Let's see what happens. Or, oh, you mean the picker without the... Okay, I know what you mean. It does not work. It's weird. Maybe it's something with the form. I have had a like legit SwiftUI bug with the form before. Hello there. You think a picker item with the text no selection or something like that will be clearer? Oh, you meant the text in the for each. Ooh, let's see. Oh my gosh. Frame. Oh, I know why. Oops, oh my gosh, typing wrong. Why is max width not coming up? What just happened? Weird. Need to put the kids to bed. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, thanks Paul for dropping by. It was great chatting with you again. Are you going to deep dish Swift? Wondering hopefully before you go. Ooh, did that fix it? No. Thanks for the suggestion, Tim, but that's weird. Don't know what it is. Is it the phone size? Ooh, let's see. We are running on a 14 Pro. If we go on a Pro Max. Okay, now the simulator has to boot up, but let's see if this still happens. You're looking forward to it. You have so many pizza suggestions. You need to compare them against Sarush's New York favorites. Yes, I cannot wait. We better get like pizza at this conference. It has to happen. Oh, look at that. It is a sizing thing. So interesting. So it is purely a sizing thing. For some reason, it thinks the word checking account cannot fit across the 14 Pro screen, so it truncates it to 2 lines, even though it definitely fits. We're just gonna leave it. It's not that big of a deal, but that's weird. Okay, let's close this simulator. I will see you at the conference then, Paul. Thank you for dropping by again, and thank you for retweeting me. Oh, hey, Suresh, small world. Hey, Kuba, you know Suresh as well. iOS dev is a very small world. For anybody who is new here, I don't know, Susie, if you're still here, by the way, iOS dev is a very, very small world as compared to other developing communities, mainly because, like, iOS is just so small. You hung out last night. Oh, that's funny. Man, I need iOS dev friends to actually hang out with, like, in person. I don't have any. I hang out with people online. That's why I'm on Twitter, and Mastodon, and Instagram, all the time. The New York City meetup. Ooh, is that the, what's the name of that one? I know which one that is, I think. It's like happens like every Wednesday, or not every Wednesday, but like once a month on Wednesdays. Oh, hey Susie, my voice is nice for background music. Thanks. iOS IRL, that's what it is. The third Wednesday of the month, yes. One day I wish I could make it to that, because I went to New York City like 3 times last year. Because my company, Suresh, I believe you know a lot of the people I work for, or not work, yeah, work with. I work at Lickability, and a lot of them are in New York City, and go to that meetup as well. Okay, can you try replacing the frame modifier with fixed size? On the picker or on the text this time? And let me know how to pronounce your name as well, so please let me know so I can pronounce it properly. Yeah, Lookability are good people. A lot of friends there. Yes. I saw your name as a contractor before. And I think it's because I also know your name. I saw it from Paul Hudson's like coordinator's video and everything. And then I think I went back and even watched the original video, and then I saw it was all in Objective-C, and I was like, oh. Because of when you gave it. Yeah, Lookability is a lot of fun. Making a lot of fun apps. Okay, on the text, you want to do the fixed size frame modifier. Is it frame dot? Wait, hang on. Which one is it? Can you try replacing the frame modifier with the dot? Oh, is it dot fixed sized? Ooh, it is. Okay. Oh no, not on the Pro Max. No. Go back to the 14 Pro. Okay, close that one. 14 Pro. Okay, run. The community is bigger than you think online. You're watching from Saudi Arabia. Your name is Abdul. Is it Azizi? Is that it? It's Arabic. Nice. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for dropping by. Names are just hard, but it's mainly because I don't know how to pronounce them. But yeah, please just let me know how to pronounce your name so I can pronounce it correctly, because it's not hard to put an effort to pronounce somebody's name correctly. And I want to pronounce it correctly for you. Man, that still doesn't work though. I think this is like the third suggestion we've tried that doesn't work. That's obnoxious. Oh, you know what we can put in here? I just thought of it. Choose an account. Will that get... I think that's gonna get also super truncated. Yeah, choose an account though, so somebody will know, like, you can't do that one. Okay. So we have done that one. I'm gonna get rid of this fixed size because that one didn't fix it either. The community is bigger online, but in general though, like the iOS dev community is still very small because to do iOS development, you need a $1,000 computer, and that's a very, very high barrier to entry. As opposed to learning web development, you could use a 10-year-old crappy like laptop and you'd still learn web development. But you can't do that with iOS. You got a roll for a meeting, but this was fun. Yeah, Suresh, thank you for stopping by. It was great to have you. I usually stream at the same time, 9 a.m. on Fridays. I don't know if that'll be happening in the future because I'm about to do a lot more traveling, and I'm not sure how that is yet going to affect my streams. But if anyone wants, you can subscribe to my channel, and then you will see. You'll see like basically when I'll be streaming, and I usually also tweet it or post it on Mastodon now, especially now that Buffer is about to support Mastodon. or like any of my social medias, pretty much. Like, follow me one place on the internet and you'll see the same thing everywhere. But yeah, thank you for dropping by. Okay, let's go and commit this. We just did... we'll commit it anyways, even though it's only 2 lines. Git commit, give our prompt, add prompt for empty account picker selection. Oh yeah, and Suresh, if you're still here though, thank you for giving me the advice of how to fix this, because this is super weird. Don't like that. I don't like how this has to work, but thank you for the solution. Okay, so we have one of them. We did accounts. The other one we need to do is categories. So we've done one, so the second one should be pretty easy, and we already have categories because we did that in the settings view. So let's go just copy fetch categories right here and drop that right there. So now when we come over here and do func fetch, we're gonna call it expense categories. This is async and I need parentheses. Do catch, we're gonna print this generic error again. Aaron, you have a 2013 iMac on desktop that you used until Ventura for some light iOS development. Older Macs aren't terrible for iOS dev, but still kind of expensive compared to PCs. Yeah, they're always more, at the moment, always more expensive than PCs, and you can do it on, you can learn iOS development on older machines, but it's once you want to really get into it and like put apps on the App Store, that's when you have to have an updated one, because you must use the latest updated Xcode to submit them. Hey Vince, you have a 2013 MacBook Air right now for iOS dev. Definitely quite slow now. Yeah, my first computer was a 2016 MacBook Pro, but it was the base model MacBook Pro, so it had like 8 gigs of RAM. You had a late 2013 MacBook Pro until the M1 Pros came out, was definitely good enough to get started with. Yeah, it is definitely, you can get started with any Mac that you can get your hands on, and you can get started. But again though, that's the thing, is that you still have to get a Mac, and that's such a high barrier. They've lowered it a little bit for the fact that you can get an iPad and use Swift Playgrounds, and you can learn iOS development on it pretty much now. But to really, really get into it and actually get more serious about it, you still end up needing to have a Mac. And that barrier to entry is very high. Okay, we are doing fetch categories. We need to do... We are going... Do I have a function actually that filters these for me? I don't think I do. So we can do like network manager dot fetch categories, and this will give us all of the categories. Yeah, we are fetching all of the categories right now, because when we do this somewhere else, we need all of them. So technically we'll be fetching more than we actually need, because we want to do categories.filter, and we actually want to filter this by, we want to make sure type is .expense, because we're talking about expenses. And this would be, I need to separate these. I don't like them so close together. At published var expense categories is equal to category selected category is equal to, or is of type optional category. Abdul Azizi, welcome, brother. Yeah. Please, like, chat in the comments. It's fun. And then if you join my streams, because I usually stream at the same time. I didn't today, But you can then find people that you end up talking to and see everybody every time you come to my stream. Or end up meeting each other and talking to each other in other places. Okay, stream has been healthy as well, so we are good. And, okay, Tim, you said, wish your code base was online, looks well organized, something I still struggle with. Aw, thank you. Yeah, at the moment, I decided to not open source this application, but you can watch the whole thing on just basically my stream. If you want to see an application I have organized in a very similar way, Mikaela Caron. If you go to my GitHub and go to Brainmarks, the application I have, this one is open source. It is a way to save and categorize tweets that you have, so like pretty much Twitter bookmarks, except you can make categories. This is organized in a pretty similar fashion, so you could clone this if you wanted to look around. Not at the moment super sure of the fate of that repo, of that app, but we will see. The new M2 Mac Minis are down to $600, which hopefully puts downward price pressure on secondhand Macs. We hope so. I hope it does. But yeah, thank you, Tim. Oh, and Vince, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have a custom stream alert eventually. That's the goal. One of the next things I want. Cool, you have a look at that. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. We did that. We have fetched these. We have changed it for only expense. We also... Ooh, can we do 2 of them? And $0.is_archived. Or instead of equals false and not, can we do that? Let's call this all categories because it is all of them. And then, oh, we already have expense. We'll call these ones expense categories. Okay, does that build? Okay, awesome. Looks like it builds. Let's put it into, we need fetch accounts, and we need await viewModel.fetch expense categories. And let's just copy our picker, because we'll do account, yeah, and then categories, and this would be selected category. Change this to category. Choose a category. This is a category. This is expense categories. This is a category. This is what programming really looks like. It's just copy and pasting your own code. Let's run it. Okay, expense categories. Here we go. Hit the plus. We have choose an account and choose a category. So choose an account. Let's select checking, choose a category. And there we go. We have our equipment, professional services, credit card, subcontract, and subscription. Look at that. It is all coming together. Oh, I want to make this multi-line. No, it's fine. It's fine as one line. We'll leave it. Okay, we need to make the amount. We're going to commit this, but we need to make this amount. We'll have to do something when we save this. But there we go. Are those all the things? When we go back to Postman, we have an account. We have a category that we have to choose. An account. We have description. We have amount. We have currency. So we're going to hard code the currency. And then the date. Vince, you're debating on building a Hackintosh or buying a Mac Mini for interview prep purpose. Short term, you want to buy a MacBook Pro once you find a job though. I would recommend buying an M2 Mac because the reason is the M2s just blow Intel out of the water, and you're gonna spend almost the same, not almost, but relatively the same amount of money to build a Hackintosh that's gonna be slower, rather than if you spent slightly more and had a better computer in the end. So that would be my opinion, and you could watch, we go to YouTube and so Ivars Myers built a Hackintosh before. After I have an ad. So here, if you haven't seen him before, Ivars, he has built a Hackintosh. This was actually 2 years ago now, so I didn't realize it was that long ago. He built a Hackintosh for iOS development, basically because his computer like took a crap and he had to order a new one. It took a hot minute, so we went and bought all the stuff to make a Hackintosh. Here's all the specs he put into it and everything, and then you can look at this video of why build a Hackintosh for iOS development. Ooh, hey Gregory, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Welcome. And basically he goes over why he thinks you should or shouldn't have a Hackintosh for iOS dev. But I think given this, I think his response was he would recommend just buying a Mac. And you can buy a Mac Mini. The M2 Mac Minis just came out, but you could also then get one of the M1 Mac Minis as well. Because hopefully, I believe that they cost less now that the new ones are out. But yeah, but that would be my opinion, is to then just buy a lower tier already Mac Mini rather than going about building a Hackintosh, unless you just really want to. Which I don't, so that's why I don't want to, but if you want to, go ahead. Perhaps you can make the description a growing field. That is a good idea. It'll technically, so if I type da-da-da-da-da, it'll grow like that. It's not gonna grow vertical at the moment. But there is that. Is my stream lagging a lot, or is that just my computer showing it very lagged? Oh, I think that's just my computer. Okay. Okay, I think that was definitely just my computer. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Just checking. And okay, we have all the parameters, which is good. So we're like almost there to just doing like one post request. We have everything. We need to create our nav items. So that was something Paul had mentioned while he was here a second ago, is that navigation view is going to be deprecated, so we can use navigation stack. So I have briefly done some navigation stack, but let's go into how we can do this. Yeah, thank you for your input. You're welcome. Would make Tim would make it more readable. I think it's easy adding the line limit with a range. Oh, you can do that? Okay, if it's that easy. If you say that, let's just do it. Ooh, would that be on the text field? Or would that be on the text attribute? So line. That text can occupy. What happens after that? Okay, let's try this with this as true. What does that look like? That looks the same. If we just do line limit with a number, oop, not settings, expenses. Okay, it still looks the same. Would it grow if I start typing something? That's okay. Yes, I agree that it will look better. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Okay, what have we done? We did fetch categories and put it into the picker. Add data to the picker. Okay, line limit 3 if you want to grow to max 3 lines. So after it hits 3 lines, it'll just start scrolling up. Is that what happens? I believe that is, but I can't remember. Okay, we did that. Now we need to do the navigation stack. How to use navigation stack. Let's open 2 of these. Okay, simple usage, navigation, and we have the navigation destination. So we don't actually want to navigate anywhere. We just want to have the stack so that we just want navigation in here. And then just have navigation items at the top left and right. That's what we want to do. So we don't actually want to navigate anywhere. Okay, that's the conclusion of that. That is, we need more than that though. And I'm actually going to go to the bathroom and take a break for a minute because I've actually streamed longer than I thought I was going to stream. It's been almost 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna be right back. That's okay, but I'll be back pretty quickly. And drop that in the chat. So let's see, go back to my BRB, and you shouldn't be able to hear me anymore after this.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Van Gogh. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. En my baddie, she bad, but she totally nice. Nails are blue en haar toes wil ik white. Ik compie niet met jou, dat is zo voor mijn lijk. He knew it for sure, but he left with a why. Yeah, we live, but we destined to die. And you say it on me, but I'm ending a lie. I'm a lie en ik voel me net Memphis de paai. En ik jag op de koot in de scene. Moest eigenlijk rennen, we lopen misschien. En ik wil niet eens kijken, mijn ogen die zien. En ze reden niet genoeg, dat ik kopen we 10. Hoef in een bean, hier co-star. I got 5 on my name, I got no star. Come to me just to see how my shows are.
They said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it.
Yeah, Connor, hoodie, come on. All you little birdies like to talk online. Did it on my own, I don't need a cosign. Not a Gemini, but I got 2 sides. If you wanna fight, we could take it outside. Outside,
Okay.
outside,
Where at?
outside. We could take it outside. Outside,
Okay.
outside, outside.
We could take it over. Yeah. I think I need a break from my health. They ain't going easy on me like my name is Adele. Try to knock me down, but I ain't never taking the L. Cause I'm a stand-up individual like David Chappelle.
We more like Keenan and Kel. I put the green on the shelf. I never fumble the bag. I should be in the NFL. I run the game like Adele, and now my name ringing bells. I probably wouldn't have believed if I ain't seen it myself.
Okay, they say good things take time.
Sound like an excuse, you know I don't ever waste time.
No, I got got the juice, yeah, they heard it through the grapevine.
Don't do interviews, I'm too busy doing stage dives. Wait,
I don't need anyone driving me from the backseat.
Too bad, like faint fair, this ain't a taxi.
I'm great, my last name should have been Gatsby.
Talk bad behind my back, go ahead and at me. All you little birdies like to talk online. Did it on my own, I don't need a cosign. Not a Gemini, but I got two sides. If you wanna fight, we can take it outside. Outside,
Okay.
outside,
Where at?
outside. We can take it outside. Outside,
Okay.
outside, outside.
We
Yeah.
can take it
I said pipe down, use your inside voices.
If you think I won't go crazy, that's a misdiagnosis.
You know I get what I want and then I split like Moses.
I'ma make you cough it all up, that's cystic fibrosis.
Everything I spit's high focus.
You don't really think I noticed.
Looking at me like a little rich kid, what do you think this is, White Lotus? I'll be coming back for more just like I'm Oliver Twist.
And I don't gotta check my phone cause I know all of y'all pissed because
All you little birdies like to talk online. Did it on my own, I don't need a cosign. Not a Gemini, but I got two sides. If you wanna fight, we can take it outside. Outside,
Okay.
outside,
Where at?
outside. We can take it outside. Outside,
Okay.
outside,
Where
outside. We can take it out.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy, we working hard for this money. Whoa, you know I've been in my bag, yeah. Buddy, I got it like that, yeah. Y'all better stop. Me and my boy gon' climb to the top. Sidekick game like Calvin and Hobbes. Batman and Rob. Y'all know me, I'm down for the cause.
Y'all know us, we start the party. Go way back like Doc and Marty. Either die legend like John Lennon or end up solo like Paul McCartney. Let's go.
W's only, there's obvious signs.
Looking around me, it's hard to deny.
I mean, just look at the audience size.
Well, robbing you blind like Bonnie and Clyde.
Y'all do too much just to fit in.
Zach and Cody, we stay twinning.
Sweet life only, we stay winning.
Been this way since the beginning.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy, we working hard for this money. Whoa, you know I've been in my bag, yeah. Buddy, I got it like that.
Yo, my greatest idols are all-time rivals. I'm talking Biggie and Pac.
Yeah, every room that I walk into, it's like all I hear is applause.
Hey, I don't need to just roll solo. I got a buddy like Han Solo. I'm in the money, I rock polo.
I never bomb sets, I just bomb photos. Like boom, lights, camera, action. Do a big boy, I'm talking Miss Jackson.
Bury those beats, yeah, I'm feeling like Braxton. Good Jewish boy, cause I always pay taxes.
I've been on a mission, got a blast.
Feel like Jimmy Neutron with the raps.
Why you always living in the past?
Let me give you something that'll last.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy, we working hard for this money. Whoa, you know I've been in my bag.
Okay, here we go. Back to my monitor. Is my head cut off? Oh, it almost is. There we go. And okay, good. My mic is on. I was like, am I doing this right? Forget what I'm doing in the middle. Okay, cool. Tim, replace navigation stack with what I have for navigation view. Okay, cool. And you're headed to bed. Good luck with the rest of the stream. Till next time. Yes, thank you for dropping by and giving me all the suggestions. I appreciate it. So, where is the end of the form? The end of the form is right there at the bottom. So, we need to do navigation stack and add the other one right, not that one, there. And that should auto indent everything for us. And we should be able to then add toolbar. And what is it? Toolbar item? Yes. Placement. Where do we want to do? We want leading and trailing. We want trailing. This one will be our button to what do we want to call it? When you would add an expense, would we say add? We'll just put add for right now. Add expense, and we need another one. I should put these in a different order. Leading. This will be the cancel button. Let's see. Oh, one extra space. I thought I got them all. Okay, expenses, hit the plus. And they are not there. Oh, do these... I think all this needs to go inside. So all... Actually, including this. Navigation stack. Yeah, it's on the thing that's inside of all the navigation. Let's see. Expenses. Hey Ben, this was fun. Till next time. Yeah, thank you for dropping by. Have a good rest of your day or night. Okay, here we go. We have new expense. And then we can hit cancel. That says cancel. And we can hit add. And it says add. Do we need to fix... Okay, there we go. See, like, every so often, like, this shouldn't bleed into that so much. I think that's a Swift UI thing, so we are just gonna change this to... Navigation, what is it called? Display mode? It's deprecated. What's the new one? Navigation bar title display mode is inline. So now it'll just look like that, and there's no big expense anymore. Okay, so let's commit that. Nope, not spotlight. Add navigation. Stack. Awesome. Okay, last thing, now we need to make it work. So we have everything, but we need to finish it. Oh wow, I've been streaming for like almost 3 hours. That's a lot. I usually don't stream that long. But we're so close to the end. Like, I can't stop now. We have to see how it's gonna play out. Okay, we have this. The only thing also design-wise that I would want to change is why is amount way over here on the left? Why can it like not also right align with everything too? That'd be nice. You finally got the Vapor authentication working. Woohoo! You were overcomplicating setting it up and it turned out to be super easy. What was it? I'm like somewhat-ish losing my voice. I feel like, yeah, I need sound effects. Next thing I'm doing with my stream is I need a button for sound effects. For like a yay. Yay, something worked. And I need a button so like when a test pass, we like play a sound. Okay. We need to do something with all of this now. Does this need to be on the main actor? Why is the other one? This one didn't need to be. Okay, that may not need to be on main actor then, because this one was fine without it. Excuse me. See, this music is so much more chill. We're not this chill. We need to be more hype. Okay, so we need to make everything do something. Let's do add expense. Do we call it add or do we call it create? Should we call it, ooh, naming is hard. Is it create or is it add? Or is it add? I'm leaning on add. Let's do add expense, and we need to get all the variables here, which we have them all. And use one of them, basically. Or use all of them. Expense, we have the struct, and we can create a struct based on everything. When we do this, we don't send it an ID. We can. We don't have to, though. Is there an initializer that I have without the ID? No. Ooh, and category. So category would actually be selected category dot ID. Okay, so we also want to check to make sure everything... We have a couple things that could be nil. Selected category could be nil, or a selected account, and we don't want this to be nil. So we want to guard selected account, or selected category. Or is it and or is it comma? One of them one you have to use one you have to use the other, and I always forget which one is which. I think it's comma? Guard let selected category is not equal to nil, and selected account is not equal to nil. Else return. Okay, the rest of the build failed. Let's just comment that out and build it. Okay, so it is the comma, because if I try to put an and, will that break it? Okay, so we could do either one. I like and. Now, let expense, let's just call it new expense, is equal to our expense UUID selected category .id selected account .id description is description. We're getting lots of errors. Currency, right now we are gonna hardcode USD. That's going to change. Ooh, and we need to fix the date, the format of the date. So we know the format of the date right here is this. So we need to format the date in that same format and send it to the server using that. Okay, let's fix the other issues. So description, did this say it could be nil? Go to, okay, description can be nil. Let's, what are these errors telling us? Generic ID parameter could not be inferred. Referencing instance method ID on optional requires the account conform to view. That's weird. Oh, it's because it's an identifier. Ooh, that was because of how it came back from Vapor. Because it came back like this, like account ID. Do we have to send it a name? This is how, actually, this is not how it came back. This is how it comes from the server to the iOS app. Would be this way. When we send it, we don't need to send it in this format. We need to send it I put it this way for a reason. Okay, let's see what happens if we do this. Change this to 6. Change the time to 3 and 6 to 1. Okay, that still worked. So if we go back to expenses. Okay, that's there. So does that mean we don't need account, we don't need name, do we just need ID? I think we could get our way with just ID. Like that. So let's change this one to a 2. Have today, change this to a 4. Send. 201 created, and we go back here, go back to expenses. Oh, I have 6 twice now. I forgot to change that one. Oh well. Okay. So so we're not sending just an ID. We are sending a category object that only has an ID on it. And that was similar to this. So we need to make identifier objects out of those things. So that would mean it would be like this. Category ID is an identifier with an ID of selected category dot ID a type to some view expect argument string. What is ID? ID is an optional UUID. And our identifier object is an ID with a string. Hey Kuba, you have to run. Yeah, thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next stream. Have a good rest of your day or night. Oh man, this is taking a long time. Like, why is it just not working? Yeah, that would just be great. Can it just like work? That'd be awesome. Maybe convert ID to string. Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. String. I'll get rid of that one. Why? Generic parameter ID could not be inferred. Referencing instance method ID on optional requires that category reform to view. Why does it think that? Where is this view coming from? If we could open expense again. Nope, not expense view. This one. We have a struct, it's an identifier, and inside of that is an ID. And when we send it over, the key value is category ID. Let ID is a string. Category. ID is right there. It's a UUID though. See, quick help is like not helping very quickly. We need... Okay, if we did selected category.id, this would then be an option. Whoa, why is that not? Okay, what is happening here? Can generic parameter ID could not be inferred? Am I spelling something wrong? What is going on? Generic parameter ID. Yeah, Xcode is not helpful once there are errors involved, right? You just have to type your code without errors. That's the solution. You just don't have errors, and Xcode is fine. Why is it saying generic parameter ID cannot be inferred? Referencing instance method ID on optional requires that category conform to view. Selected category has an ID property. That's the whole point of this object. Like, if we did this, is it because I wasn't using the optional? Oh my gosh, was that it? Did you just see that? It all worked. It's because selected category is optional and I didn't have the question mark. It was giving me this error. Once you add the question mark, no error. What is this? Okay. So, we're going to do this. We're going to do guard let selected category ID is equal to selected category dot ID Xcode be a num. Xcode be an Xcode. Basically is what that was. Oh my goodness. Come on now. Xcode, get it together. We have stuff to do. Can't be doing this. Okay, if I put a question mark here. Doesn't like the question mark. ID provides category be a class type. Guard let selected category ID is equal to what does this one say? The ID category summable. Because we should. So what I'm trying to do is instead of first just checking is selected category not equal to nil, we're just going to directly check is selected category dot ID not equal to nil. So then we just have one guard statement and can use that value here directly right here would be the goal, rather than having to do two checks. Because really, we wouldn't need to do two checks. One of them technically should be fine, hopefully, but it's not like this. Because selected category can be nil, I don't like this music. What is happening? I am not into this trumpet. I don't like this next one either. Maybe replace and with a comma. Yeah, I had tried it both ways. And it accepted both, but let's see. Let's just get rid of the and for right now and just do one of them. We get the same error. If this is question mark, does it fix it? Oh my gosh, it does. clear issues. Hang on, product, clear issues, clear everything. Okay, build. Oh, was that too loud? That dropped. Let me know if the music is too loud. That is very, very dubsteppy. A little more aggressive than I was thinking. Okay, value, select a category ID. Was never used. Okay, is this a Boolean? No, it's not. Okay. And oh, I think it's because the first one we were doing Boolean tests, so that's why we could use the and. Versus if I do guard let, that then I think it needs a comma, is what it is. Okay, these are very dubsteppy. Let's do this one. See, I like upbeat music, but dubsteppy gets like, it's just, dubstep is just too aggressive to have like me talking over the track. Okay, that works. So let me know if that's better. Sorry, I don't do lo-fi music because it'll like put me to sleep. So I have more upbeat music, but finding the right upbeat music is difficult. Because I really wanted to do some music that I have that's more like DMCA free, but it has words in it, and then just, it's too many words with me also talking over it. But let's do selected is equal to selected account question mark dot ID, and that gives us that. And then we can take that. So many warnings. Like, calm down. It's fine. Selected. I have to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Vince, it's good. Okay, good. Thank you for confirming. Oh. And this is selected account ID. The issue, though, is this needs to be a string, because it's right now a UUID. Bless you. Thank you, Hendrik. Build. Okay. Most everything builds. Oh my goodness, that needs to be identifier. Okay, so I do still need to make this an identifier. Oh, this is like, this is just so... Okay, let's do... We're just doing something right now. Identifier, which gives me an ID from a string. So if we had selected category ID, this still needs to be typecast to a string. And then... no exact matches. Identifier has an ID that's a string. YM. Okay, do I just need to do UUID string? I don't actually need to convert it. If I make both of these, let's just use my little variable that we will erase in a minute. Build failed. Why is build failing? Oh, I think it's just... okay, I think it's just these. Here. Is that build? We have it. We finally have a build that is not failing. That is succeeding. Okay. So this needs to be... Do I put this line in here or do I separate it out? I'm gonna put it in there because it's my code base and I can do what I want. That's my thoughts on coding. Okay. So, this needs to be identifier, blah, blah, blah. For category. And this instead is selected account ID. Okay, so there we go. We finally have this. Now, we need the amount. The amount right now is a decimal, I believe. Amount. It's a double. But the way we're saving it is we are saving it as an integer. How are we going to do that? Saving currency in Postgres. Ooh, is that a LinkedIn post? One way to store money in Postgres and a benchmark against its alternative. So integers with a magnifier. If you know the finest denomination, use numeric. If you don't, if you can't tolerate its performance. Numeric takes about 60% more time than integer types. Interesting. So I had a whole stream about how I was going to save this. But given if we type it as a decimal, I'm not sure how do we properly convert the decimal to an integer in the right way where in the database it's an integer in the currency. So we know how to get it back into the right format. Because the other thing I could do is just change what I've been thinking, not care about the currency at the moment, and just force everything to USD, and then later figure out how to do multiple currencies. But I was trying to build it in from the beginning. Okay. We may get hit by this since we deal with IDR. I don't know what IDR is. IDR, is that a currency then, I'm guessing? Oh, it is Indonesian. Is an integer with magnifiers. Table would resemble this. Okay, don't know. I have not set this up with magnifiers, but I did set this up as currency as integer, and then, or sorry, amount as an integer and the currency as the denomination, like USD. Magnified amount being 1367, currency being USD, along with the record in magnifiers, currency being USD and magnifier being 100. Okay, so that shows us what the thing is that we multiply by. Oh. See, this is the thing about programming. If you were watching a tutorial, they would just tell you what this is and be like, okay, this is what we're doing and that's what we're just choosing to handle currency. But here's the thoughts of what actually happens is, hey, this is all the stuff you have to think about for using one currency. That's easy. But having multiple currencies and really wanting to fully support every currency, that is difficult. And this is the reason why, is because, like, just to save 1367 into the database, we have to save the magnified amount of 1367, the currency denomination, and then go back to magnifiers and save the currency and then what the magnifier number is. That's a lot of thinking. Why didn't I find this post sooner? I need to write this down too to remember. Apparently, this isn't perfect either. None of us are. The range is bounded, although it's usually big enough, and more importantly, the fineness denomination is sort of blocked by the magnifier. Example, to make the above support mils, we'd have to carry out a migration. But it's faster. Oh my goodness, setup. Okay, they're about to do a full-on speed test of MacBook Pro, an Intel i9. Ooh, better get an M1 machine. That's the solution, you just need a faster computer. Okay, what did they find? Okay, integer was the smallest amount of time? Ooh, integer or big int, which makes sense. They said that. Numeric types are about significantly slower. Okay. They used integer plus magnifier approach. Should I do it? I mean, I don't know what this company is, but this looks like a good idea. Vince, yes, you are correct. But not only divided, but actually, yeah, divided. That's right. Because basically, some currencies have decimals, like USD. We always have two digits after the decimal. Some currencies have 3 numbers after the decimal, so their magnifier would then be 1,000. And then some currencies do not have a decimal at all. Like, I believe Japanese yen doesn't. So because of that, that's why you need the magnifier. So magnifiers. So would we have to save the magnifier each time, or can we just like have an ID of magnifiers and reference them? It's funny that this searched a person's name to find this article. Well, they published it March 1st of 2022, so okay, let's keep this open. I already spent a stream looking at this, but let's just keep on going and look slightly further to remember. You know, actually, you know what we do? MikaelaCaron.com/blog. I wrote a blog series that follows all of these live streams. I am only on 5, and we are on stream 17 right now because I'm falling behind a lot, if you can't tell. And I did write, though, about how we did this. I need to update this so it's not the same for every single one, but please ignore. Here we go. We talked about Roblox Oriented 2 was deciding what data type to use. We had double float and int or something else. Okay, I thought to use money for the Postgres database and decimal for the Swift model. But then I changed it the next stream, so that was 3. Let's look at 4. What did I change it to? Okay, I then later decided I'm gonna use a string for the currency's denomination and an integer for the amount. I'll most likely make that so it says currency once and you can't change it, but you may change it later. Okay, so that was just what I decided on the back-end side. So when I convert this from a decimal to an integer, how do I get all the digits with just being like, I want all the digits and I don't want the decimal anymore? Because I don't want to change what the value was. This is a lot of thinking. I think because of this, I think we might stop. Because this now goes into a whole different topic of the whole currency thing. Here we go. So we are going to write this down of how this works. Because programming is fun. And you have to plan what you're doing. You can't just program. Which you technically can, but I'm not going to. Okay, so let's save this article. I'm going to copy this. Where should we save this? I have my task manager. Okay, I commented this on my own task manager so I remember what it is. And I'm gonna write it down as well. So, yeah, what they're saying is that we're always gonna do like some kind of division or multiplication for everything, for the fact that we wanna save it as integers because it is faster when retrieving data out of the database. And then, no matter what data is, if we did like 1367 times 3, if we go over here and have like times 3 hit equals, it doesn't really matter what this value is because we already know what the magnifier is, so we can divide by 100 and we know that's 4101, and that would be the same as 13.67 times 3. We still get the same thing because math. So let's do table transactions, and this has an ID that is a UUID, which we already have this. We are calling it not transactions. We broke it out into income and expense. But then we will then change it to, instead of amount, it would be the magnified amount. And they save a big integer. Ooh. I only hope that I will make enough money that I can use a big integer in my business. And then currency is text. Okay, so then we have a many-to-one relation to a magnifier's table. Technically currency, we could have an ID property also in magnifier, so we wouldn't actually have to. We could look it up and then join them of some kind with the ID, with a primary foreign key, rather than just kind of look it up, like with currency ID, with currency value thing. So if we have magnifier's table, let's make an ID property of UUID. And so this will be a primary key. I would show this on screen. My handwriting is really bad today. But I'm basically writing out this top table, and then I'm going to write out the example at the bottom too. So we have a UUID for the ID. We'll have currency, which is text, and then magnifier, which is an integer. So we would have in our table of transactions, we would also use a magnifier ID. And this would be a UUID, and it would be a foreign key to the primary key that's in the magnifier table. So we have one ID over here, and then we'd have an ID over here. We can connect them as opposed to, I don't know if it's super fast, but as opposed to looking up as currency, using currency as like, no, we can do that. Actually, they're right. We can use currency as the key for the fact that there shouldn't be multiple currencies, because currency denominations should be a set thing. Currency, I spelled currency wrong. Code. So all of these should be these. ISO 1470. Let's look at that. 14. What does this say? 14. No, 42. Does this say 4217? Was I that far off? 4217 currency code. ISO. There we go. So this, I am not happy to accept cookies. No. Currency code. We have almost 300 different currencies, so we have slightly less than 300. So we are going to use these codes for everything. So like EUR is euros, USD is United States dollar, JPY is Japanese yen. Oh, interesting. So that's how it's put together. The first two letters of the three-letter code is the first two are the country name, and then the third one is the name of the currency. So that's why USD is United States dollar, and Japanese yen is JPY. Interesting. That's where it comes from. Cool. Where's the list? Why is there no list? Did I miss it? Codes for the Is this something I have to buy? Yo, what? Is this not like a free list? Okay, well, here we go, finally. Here's the list. And we have almost 200 is what it said. And this looks like it is something that changes every so often. I don't like that. If it changes, that means we need to know if and when something would change. Because if we use something as a primary key, and that changes, that could be bad. Okay. Okay, so here is some historical codes. US has 2. Oh, it was recently removed. That was not that long ago. Oh, there's unofficial codes as well. Ooh, then there's crypto. We're not even going to talk about them right now. This was established in 1978. Let's see. Let's just go with it for right now and hope for the best that we can use just the code as our primary key. We might as well. Okay, so let's go back to this article. That saves us typing one extra relationship and some more math. But given this, we wouldn't save a new record for USD every single time. We'd only save one of them and then keep it for the rest of the time. Yeah, we would just actually precede magnifiers probably is what would happen. Okay. Let's do... I'm just writing the example of ID. Would be 1367. Currency is then USD. Okay, and then in the other one, magnifiers, currency is USD, which actually, considering they bold and underlined USD, I'm guessing that's what they use as the primary key. Magnifier is 100. Okay. So there we go. That is written down. Can we finish this? It's been 3.5 hours. Thank you for those who have joined, and if you have stayed the whole time, I very much appreciate it. If you could like the video, that would be awesome for staying for this long. But, oh, do we finish? We're so close. We are already almost doing this. The next step, let me write this in my notes as well. Oh my gosh, sorry, I keep clicking the wrong thing. So here, if we're looking at this, feature proposal, this is probably a feature. Let's call it saving currency in Postgres. You're happy you learned a little bit about databases. Yeah, thank you, Vince, for dropping by. Yeah, that's what I hope to accomplish with all these streams, is like seeing really more in depth how all of this is put together. Because if you, again, were following an expense tracker tutorial, they would just say, oh, hey, we're going to save it this way. That's it. And say, oh, it might be faster. But still, that's it. It kind of ends there. And then what we have learned here looking at it is that it's, for one, the reasoning is because it is faster. For two, we can then handle a bunch of different currencies from the beginning and not actually, or we can handle different currencies, yeah, that's what it is. I lost my train of thought in the middle. So we can handle everything from the very beginning, and it may save us a more painful migration later on. So feature proposal, and also because I'm still developing this app, it's totally fine to change our minds. We're just gonna nuke the database and try again. Okay, feature proposal. Let's save this article in, oh no, resume draft. Copy this LinkedIn post, saving currency values following this model. And this application is called Linear. This is the application that I use for all of the, for tracking all the tasks that I have. And I'm gonna set this to feature improvement, actually. This is more of a vapor thing. I'm gonna set it to in progress because then they go to the top of this stack, which you'll see in a minute. And because of that, I see it and I remember this is what I need to work on next time. So we need to change the expense model to match the article and change how the endpoint works with, change how the /expenses endpoint works with the new model. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Hit create. So we did only do this. We almost did all of create until we hit this point of figuring out how we want to do this. So it's almost there. We're already almost doing it the same way too. We already had a amount that we were going to save as an integer, which we might change it now to a big integer because that's what this one is. Hopefully we make enough money to have big integers. But then we're already saving currency as the USD. Hey Paul, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Kevin, you finally got here. Welcome. As you're getting it to like the very end. That's okay though. We were figuring out currency again because it's a back and forth decision, but I think we've finally landed on a good decision. So we were saving our currency as an amount as an integer, the currency as the currency code. But we didn't actually figure out how exactly we were gonna put that all together. So what we're going to do is, following this article, we will still save currency as an integer, but instead of just calling it amount, they call it magnified amount. And then they have a different table called magnifiers, and this has our currency and what the magnifier is, and the magnifier is then 100, meaning like we already have the amount that we're gonna do like all the division and everything by, so we already know what it is. And that's how we can code it into the app then. Came in too late. You are so close. And we've been going for 3 hours and 40 minutes now. So thank you to all those who have come by. I really appreciate it. This the most people I've had in a stream in a while. So for those who are here, be sure to like this video. And we have this, so we have to redo our expense model. So that was this model. We're only really going to be adding expense magnified amount currency. We just actually need to change this to say magnified amount. Magnified amount. And the whole point of calling it a magnified amount is so that you know this is the big number. This is not the real one. Yeah, Vince, you're welcome. I'm glad you find it useful. you can check out all the past streams that I have if you really want to see this whole process from the very beginning. The first 3 streams are like all planning. So it was like some sketching and getting how we're getting like all of this together. And we're like kind of close, but like we have a lot to go still. So that is going to be my New Year's resolution this year, is going to be finish this app. And I'm not sure the streaming schedule again. It's usually I stream Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, which I believe is 1400 UTC. But I'm about to be traveling a lot more sooner. Or I'm about to start traveling more, and because of that, I think it's going to mess up my stream schedule, and I don't want to like force myself to be streaming if I'm like super tired or something. So it might be a little more periodic here and there. I haven't fully decided, so given that, be sure to subscribe to my channel and you'll see when new streams are coming out. But also, you can see in the description, if you follow me on like all social media, that I usually tweet, post. Generally, sometimes it's 12 hours ahead of time. Sometimes I actually post sooner and give somebody like a full week's notice. Vince, am I going to post this in the App Store? Yes. This will be in... I'm building it as a universal SwiftUI app, so it will be iOS, iPadOS, and macOS. Is the goal. Most likely it's going to be iOS, iPad to start out, unless... I haven't built the Mac app on this, honestly, yet, but if I do build the Mac app and see that, like, the layout isn't awful, I might just release them all at once. But I'm most likely, now that I think about it, probably going to do some kind of beta as well. So we actually just need to change amount to magnified amount. Currency is already there with the new model. Yeah. Is there anything else? Fetching the magnifier's information. Okay. I think that's most of there, and that'll work. Just get a solid medium task, even though I don't really put priorities on these things. I do every so often. Yep, so these are some of the other tasks for those who haven't joined before of how all this works. We have create read expenses. We'll have to do update and delete. We have to do update and delete for income. Way better error handling. Fixing some accounts. We have to do the App Store copy keywords. Authentication. Authentication is probably the last thing we're going to do, but that is needed. We have to make a new endpoint for some graphs. All of these are chart related. Support multiple currencies. Technically, I'm building the backend to support multiple currencies, but right off the bat, when it's released, it's only going to be like choose one and you cannot change it. Figure out the monetization strategy that I want to do. We have beta testing. Connecting to your bank account is way in the future. Let's throw this in the backlog. That's not a to-do. That's a backlog task. Tabs for this application. We already have tabs. Let's just hit done on that one. Deploy the backend. We do need to deploy, and I do want to set up Xcode Cloud for this project, so I think that would be fun as well. Okay, so that is what we are going to do next time, is going to be using this model and setting that up, and in that we'll finish then create read expenses. Okay. Oh man, that was some thinking. I need to finish up some of these blog posts. Maybe I'll do that after this. We'll see. But I'm just gonna open that one. So I'll drop this in the chat as well. It's already pinned. But thank you to everybody who has joined. You can buy me a coffee if you enjoyed this stream. And if you do that within the next few minutes or so, while I'm still live, we will see that over here. You'll see the buy me a coffee like appear on stream while I'm still live. But otherwise, what we did today was really getting together the screen for creating our expenses. So when we go ahead and run the project, we go to expenses. We added a bunch of new ones and we're not even showing anything pretty at all yet. It's just this is the list. But if we hit the plus button, we have this screen. This was not built before we started the stream. And we were able to select an amount, which we are using the number pad. So if you bring this up, we have the number pad immediately, which is nice. And then, oh, it's already bothering me. We need to add a toolbar item to it. We can launch without it. Small thing. And then you can choose the date for this transaction. So if you want to do something like in the past or in the future, because, you know, you never usually add something on the day that it happened, you can then choose your account for which account this expense is for. And these are data. This is data coming from the database. You can choose what category this is coming from. So we have equipment, professional services, a bunch of random ones. And then lastly, you can have a description. So if you want to add more details for what exactly this was for. And then we don't have anything yet for the buttons, but that will be coming. So we started to build the start of all of this with the add expense. We have our two functions for fetch accounts and categories that filled this picker. And the entire expense form. So here is all the code that made the form. We had the toolbar items and the two tasks for fetching those two values. And then lastly, with add expense, the issue you can see here is this is a decimal value, but we really want the, how we're going to save this is actually an integer. Swift has in currency amount type for currency. What does it do exactly? Is it Tensei? Is that how you pronounce your name? Let me know so I can pronounce your name properly for you. Where did that window go? You said there is... Or is that not what it's actually called? Or that is what it's actually called. Okay. The amount of money to transfer during a financial transaction. What is this part of? Oh, interesting. It's part of SiriKit. NS decimal number with a currency code. Okay. That 4217. Yes, that is what we're looking at. Getting currency information. NS decimal number. Okay. Determines the currency designator applied to this number. Maybe we'll have to look at this in a... Do you have to import SiriKit to use this? Even though it's just like a property? Because I want to look at this, yeah, in a playground. Let me write this down as well. Let's throw this in a comment. What is in? IN? What's the in for? In currency amount. Let's also throw that there to look at intense. Oh, makes sense. Why is that a part of SiriKit? I feel like this should be like a foundation thing. Handles the currency symbol and delimiter for you in different languages. Yes. Will it do that when I give, instead of NS decimal number, if I gave it a integer? To follow how I'm doing everything. Object representing, forming arithmetic. It bridges decimal? Yeah, because I knew that there was something that definitely handled what it looks like, and that was the whole point of why I'm saving it the way I am. Creating an NS decimal, not a number. That's funny. I'll look at this for sure. Maybe we'll just do like a Swift playground of some kind for this too. But thank you for mentioning it, because yeah, that's the thing of how exactly this works, and sort of how this got derailed of the whole how we take this decimal number, save it to an integer, and then when we come and read it back, what exactly that ends up looking like. But yeah, so that's what we did today, was figure out a little bit of creating, or was mainly creating this view, and then now going into more really how we're actually going to save this data. We already have the object created and everything, so we just need to save it. So git commit. Start our add expense function. But there we go. That is what we did. So thank you to everybody who joined this very long stream. It's been going for about almost 4 hours, and we had a good amount of people in here for a while. So thanks to everybody for coming. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. I may not stream super regularly anymore. I was really going to, but we have I have some things upcoming, so that may not happen at the moment. But again, thanks to everybody for dropping by. If you subscribe, you'll know when I actually go live, and you can follow me on any of my social medias that have been rotating up there, and you'll find all the information about whether or not when I start streaming. So thank you, and I will see you all later. Have a good rest of your day or night. Bye.